Good morning, students. Today we will discuss about the radio frequency identification, RFID. RFID stands for radio frequency range. Before that, we want to see about the frequency ranges. What are the frequency ranges? First, we should know about the frequency ranges. First, low frequency, high frequency, and ultra high frequency. Low frequency ranges are 125 volt to 125 hertz to 135 kilohertz. High frequency comes under 13.56 megahertz and above. Ultra higher frequency ranges are 860 to 960 gigahertz. This ultra high frequencies comes under microwave devices. We can use this frequency ranges. In this class, we will discuss about what is RFID and fundamentals of RFID, principles of RFID, the functionality of RFID. This is the basic working principle of RFID. Types of RFID. What are the types are there in RFID? Some examples of different type of RFID. So we will discuss about the RFID basics. So in this slide, we discuss about the frequency range of radio frequencies, one for low frequency, high frequency, ultra high frequency. So fundamentals, radio frequency is nothing but radio wave. It generates the radio waves, which means a wireless technology that uses radio waves to identify the or track the objects by placing an RFID tag or transponder on them. An RFID system is based on three core components. What are the core components? See here, this is the reader. This is the reader, RFID reader, RFID tag, antenna, and computer. One more component is nothing but computer, which reads the information of between tag and reader. So basic principles. So I already explained about what are the components are occurred in RFID. An RFID system is based on three core components. What are the tags, readers, writers, and software? Software is nothing but the computer is connected to tag and the reader, which is controller. It works as a controller like that. RFID tag is composed by a microchip. These are the chip is reads the radio waves. From the tag and an antenna. The tag can attach to single products, packages, shipping units, returnable assets, etc. The readers or writers provide power to the tags. The working principle: radio waves, radio frequency, radio waves are worked in that particular frequency range. We discussed about the frequency range, whether it can low frequency or high frequency or ultra frequency. If we are considering low frequency, the distance is very short. It comes under 10 centimeter. If we are using high frequency, the frequency range is 13.56 megahertz. The distance comes under 1 meter. Same as well as ultra high frequency. The frequency range is 860 to 960, and the distance is far field. We can use in far field, which comes under 10 to 15 meter. This is the basic functionality. We are using tag, reader, tag or transponder. Reader is there. Better we can explain about working principle of RFID by using this reader. This reader is in N shape. RFID tag is the input like that. This reader generate the radio waves, which means the tag is absorb the energy by the antenna. In between, some energies are transferring from tag to reader. The reader reads the full information of the object. So that object have the particular tag. Either we can use any objects, phone, car, or anything, animals, or we can track the birds. We can track an animal, human being. Then we can use in malls for purchasing purpose. Books in library. So any object we can track by using this reader. In that reader, we are using the tags. We are pasting some tags or barcodes. In between the barcode, we are connecting some small chip small chip. The chip is made by copper. Due to this chip, total information reads by the reader. After the reader collecting the information from the tag, it provides the total information to the computer. The computer will use the all databases of the particular object by using RFID tag. And different types of readers are there. So what are that N-HAL, N-type, and sometimes depends on the tags. So what are the types of tags in RFID? There are passive and active tags. Not only passive and active, we have one more tag that is nothing but semi-passive tag. So here passive tag is we cannot use any power supply. It's very cheap. We can use in car keychain, credit card, labels. So these are the example for the passive type. So what is passive type? First of all, in a passive RFID system, the tags do not use a battery. Instead, the receiver receive their energy to run from the reader. The reader emits an energy field of a few feet, providing the energy for any tag in the vicinity. The tag gathers the electromagnetic energy from the card reader, powers up, and responds with the hello world and its identification information. So, which means the passive ID, no need to give any power supply. This is the basic thing of passive. It's very cheap. We can use in theme park. We can use in malls. We can use the barcodes in the books. These are the passive tags. Next one is active tag. Active tag is nothing but it have own battery, which means it will supply the power supply into the application of the or active type of RFID. Active type of RFID systems includes tags. Already I told their own internal power supply for increased range. Depends on the frequency range. Active tags possess a battery and usually have larger SMT components. After a preset amount of time, the tag emits an RF script. A reader in the vicinity can listen and hear for this script because an active tag is they can be read over much larger distances than passive tags, tens of feet. So the distance we can the distance is very far for the active RFID. And one more thing, downsides to the active tags include greater bulk. It's very bulk because we are using battery inside of the tag, and a limited lifespan. Tag is dead when the battery is exhausted. So increased cost per tag and varying report rates. So in this session, we discussed about the RFID principles, fundamentals, basic frequency range of RFID. This is a simple function for the RFID. See what are the components are occurred in RFID. These are the different types of passive type RFID tag. This is the active type of RFID. One more RFID tag I told, that one is semi passive, which have own power supply for semi passive, which means we cannot give any power supply. It have own power supply. In semi passive power supply, depends on the applications we can use semi passive tags. Thank you.